Here's a thought. If I'm going to start a live stream, I should probably turn on my microphone. I hear that helps in being understood and heard. Not sure if it's true, though. Might just be a rumor. What's up, everybody? It is a thirsty day today. And I am filling up on as much water as I can. Ooh, yeah. Ugh. You know, I should put something like right underneath where the guest is. I should put like some kind of text there, shouldn't I? Let me see. Hold on. Wouldn't be a bad. Why didn't I think of this earlier? Let's see. Should I use? Just regular. Don't need to go crazy. Okay, let's see. What is this? Let's see. We're gonna doing some live editing of the stream here. I know, exciting stuff, right? Ask about. Let's see. Yeah, I guess that's right. Now, so you're gonna take yes, we're gonna make this this color instead. Gonna. The heck just happened? Okay, maybe I should do this later. Why'd the music start? That's weird. What's up, Wolf? I was just trying to do something live and trying to edit something, and it did not work. And then it like restarted the stream all of a sudden on me. That was weird. What's going on, Wolfman? How you doing, bud? How's work going today? Hope you're having a good day. If not, well, screw you, buddy. Just kidding. 20 more minutes left in work. Well, I think you found the perfect way to spend it. Divide your time between me and work. That should make everything better. Oh, woof, 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 woof. Oh, you're playing Starfield, huh? You like it? Everybody's talking about it. Say it's a great game. I haven't checked it out yet. Oh, I gotta stretch. Okay. But everyone I hear says it's really good. So I don't blame you. I don't think there's really games I'm into right now. Nothing that's like catching my eye or anything like that. I'm thirsty. It's like what is it, like 90 today? It's a little warm. It's 91 right now. It's a little warm, but I got the AC and fans going, so got the windows all shut up. So I'm keeping cool. You know how that goes. Oh, you're gonna make the Millennium Falcon and the Ghost? That's right, because you can build your own ships and everything. You should. You know someone's already done it. You think anybody's built the Death Star yet? That would be cool. Getting on the Death Star. Yeah, the last episode of Ahsoka was good. I still think they kind of did Sabine, sorry. Bad. But we'll see. You know, the show's not over yet, like you said. And we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. You know, maybe she's got some plan up her sleeve. We'll see. Wolf says, I've seen the Planet Express Borg ship and Magic School Bus as ships. The Magic School Bus. That's the best. That's the best one. The Magic School Bus is a starship. Oh, that's the best one. That's great. Oh man. Have you spent like most of your time just like making ships and stuff? That's what I'd be doing. Oh, that's funny. Weekend is coming up. You got any plans, bud? Gonna do anything exciting? Rachel doesn't work this weekend, so Tam and I are gonna do something tomorrow afternoon. Probably gonna get my hair cut because it is way too long and I don't like it and it just needs to be cut. And then we're gonna go have some lunch somewhere. You know, little like me and her time getting out together. I don't know what we're gonna go do. I have no clue whatsoever. We'll see. Wolf says, I've only played 3 hours and don't have enough in game cash yet. Oh, that's the worst, right? So, like, you got to go earn game cash. Yeah. Hey, did you see that clip I sent you from my, I sent it to you on Snapchat. I sent you a clip of when I was playing GTA the other day. Like that's one way to, you know, not get caught. I don't know what's going on with GTA lately. I've been having like these weird glitches. Oh, did you reply? Or did I? Maybe I saw it like late and I forgot. Let me double check. Hold on. Oh yeah, the World Between World. Yeah, okay, I missed that. Yeah. Oh, and something else been happening. Okay, so there's this one mission that when you do it, it might be the it's the Fleeca mission, the Fleeca mission, right? Where it like at the end of it, it puts you and the person that you played with in a bar. And then at the end of the cutscene, you're supposed to be outside of the bar, right? Oh yeah, puts on tickety talk. Yeah, it might be that. So you're supposed to be outside of the bar. And every time, I don't know why, but for the last 2 months, every time I do that mission with someone, and after that bar cutscene, it tries to spawn me like on inside of a bus stop right outside of the bar. And because it can't, I mean, I'm like literally stuck in the wall. I think it's the bus stop or it's the bar wall itself. I can't really tell. I get stuck in it and it kills me and then it spawns me down the road. Every time. I don't know why that keeps happening. But it does. Ugh, my beard's out of control today. So that's been weird. That has been strange. Yeah. Trying to earn some more money. I want to buy a jet fighter or something, but they're like 6 million. I just hit 6 million. We'll see what happens. You never know. I don't know what's going on. I know nothing, man. All I know is I'm thirsty. It is a crowded week at home. Rachel's back home. Our once a month guest is back. And so, it's been a little crowded, I guess. One more person isn't really a crowd, but a little more active at the house lately. Which is nice. I don't actually see the guy. I the last 3 times he's been here, I have not seen him. Because Rachel and Tam have. Because I go up to the bedroom probably around like 5:30, 6 o'clock every night. Because the routine is pretty much, you probably have a routine with your little home there, where all your duties and stuff like that. Well, my routine is pretty much around 5:36, unless Tam is here and she's cooking dinner and we're talking and what have you. Around 5:36, I usually go upstairs and maybe I'll play some GTA while Tam cooks or whatever she does. If she's out like playing Pokemon Go or whatever, that's what's going on. So I'll play some GTA for like a couple hours while she does that. And I haven't been coming back down because, the knee surgery. And by the time I go upstairs, I don't want to come back down. When I go upstairs for the night, I don't really want to come back down because, the knee and I still got the other arthritic knee that I have to deal with. So I stay upstairs. And that's about the time he gets here. And so we just haven't run into each other. It's weird. I told him I'd try to make an effort to come down and talk to him sometime this time. Because it feels kind of oddly rude to me. Although he knows that's not what's happening. I'm not trying to be rude to the guy or anything like that. But, it just seems weird. I don't... Wolf says dinner is around 7-ish. We watch TV. Then when the show's over, I go to the basement and play Xbox. Yeah, ours is once she's done with dinner, she either brings dinner up to me in the bedroom, we eat in the bedroom, or if I'm down here, we have dinner, and then she'll go and walk Dax, and then she'll come to bed. Well, she'll come to the bedroom and she'll shower and just chill, and we'll just like the rest of the night we watch TV and talk, and she plays her Pokemon Go and does her battles and all that stuff, and we'll watch whatever. Or sometimes I'll play GTA or something else at the same time. So, and then 10 o'clock comes around, she goes and takes Dax out to go potty one more time. And then 10:30, we're pretty much in bed hitting the hay. I try to get to bed at 10:30 because I have, I don't know what your sleep is like, Wolf, or anybody else is watching. And I see a couple people are watching on PeerTube. How you doing? Thanks for watching. I don't know about your guys' sleep habits, but mine suck. My sleep is the worst. No, don't get me wrong. It's gotten better since I got my CPAP. When I didn't have my CPAP, I had really bad sleeping because, I would wake up because my shoulders would be in pain because the only way I could sleep was on my side. If I slept on my back, I'd stop breathing, right? And even before that, I always had problems staying asleep. It's never falling asleep. Falling asleep's never, well, it used to be an issue, and then I learned some tricks to help with it, but hasn't been an issue for a long, long, long time. But staying asleep is my issue. I wake up like every 2 hours, take a piss. And then, sometimes around like 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, I'll wake up and have to go, take a dump, for lack of a better term. Hope you forgive me for my eloquence. But I'll have to, use the facilities. And because of the medication I'm on for my colitis, my morning... My dropping the kids off in the pool, right, in the morning takes longer than I would like, right? And it, I could be sitting there for like 30 minutes sometimes, and I'm not struggling because I don't do that. I just kind of like, wait, I know it's there. It's coming. I just have to wait for it. And so trying to go back to sleep after that sometimes is, I know, too much information, right? Trying to go back to sleep after that sometimes is very, it's not always easy. So I often take naps during the day because of it. What are you going to do? Sleep is what it is. Wolf says I go to bed about the same time. I go to bed about 12:30 local time. Yeah, so for me, that's why I go to bed at 10:30 because sometimes 11 o'clock, but I try to go to sleep by 10:30 because if I do, after I've woken up a couple of times throughout the night, because I usually get up around 6 a.m., that'll give me like 7.5 hours sleep. But I know I'm not going to get 7.5 hours sleep because I know I'm going to wake up, I'm going to have a hard time falling back asleep or something else like that. So I try to go to bed early to compensate for the lack of sleep that I'm going to have during my sleep. You know what I mean? So I have to work with that. That's fun. No, but Tam's usually pretty tired by then too. More often than not, she'll fall asleep between 10:30 and 11. I'll have to she'll fall asleep playing Pokemon Go. That's her thing. Like the other night, she fell asleep sitting up in bed, just hunched over her game like that. And she was snoring. And I'll tap her and tell her, go to bed, plug in your phone, go to bed. Okay. She'll do it. Just yell, first things first, where's the shitter? I have a grandpa on deck that will choke a donkey. No, it's not even like that. It's not even that big, man. It's like, welcome to Poop Talk with Mr. Funky Dude. No, it's just like, I can feel it there. It's almost like being a little constipated. I can feel it there. I have the pressure. I know that I'm going to need to go. And I just kind of sit there and it moves, but it's very slow getting there. Fun times. Right, but Tam isn't a gamer. No, she falls asleep playing Pokemon Go, but she's not a gamer at all. Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I just sent her some kind of notification to get her free Game Pass and something else on Pokemon Go. Oh my god, PlayStation, you have disappointed me so much this week. They're raising their prices. I know we talked about that before. I'm gonna lower my tier. I won't have. Well, geez, I don't know. It's such it. I have the premium tier on it, right? I enjoy it. I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it so much. I'm gonna pay what is it, $160 that they want you to pay? I don't know if that's gonna happen. Hopefully I can find a deal when the time comes. But no, I'm not paying a freaking 160. I can get back to 120. I'll do that. I'm not paying 160. There's no fucking way. But it's a good service. It is a good service. When you're playing it, it's a good service. It's fun. I have access to a lot of games. It's cool. I like that. But that's a bit much money, man. I fell asleep, Wolf says, playing Red Dead Redemption 2 once, and I woke up as me and my horse. Steve fell off a cliff. Oh, I haven't fallen asleep playing a game in a long time. Because by then, I'm usually I'm ready to pass out. Last time I probably fell asleep was back in the early 2000s playing a game, Been a while. It has been a while. But, you survive. you move on. Okay. Oh. What else going on? Anything exciting? Anything to talk about? I don't know, man. Looking forward to trying some different times. It'll have to be after next week. Because I don't think our guests... Actually, I've been trying to figure out how I can stream from my bedroom. If I could stream from my bedroom, that would help a lot. Because then I could do like the 6 p.m. live streams, instead of the 2 p.m. live streams. Use a long extension cord. No, I was just thinking, I have my old laptop. I mean, if it would be a challenge, but I think I might be able to do it with my older laptop. I'll have to install a new OS on it. But now I'm actually thinking, I think I just figured out something. Although the only other thing I would need is a lighting. And I could grab the green screen, take it upstairs with me for a week or something. I don't know. Tam would be in the bedroom with me. The sound wouldn't be as good. Yeah, I don't know. My only thing is I don't have my own space. Like, the only space I have is the space I share with Tam. And this little area that I do my live streams in the living room, You see the smoke coming out of my ear? Yeah, I believe it. So I don't have my own space. So, like, this is literally the only space in the house that I have to do this, and it's a common area. I don't know. I've got the brain turning, though. I'm open to the possibilities. And when you're open to the possibility of things, then, you start to find ways to make it happen. Wolf says, I have the basement and garage is my domain. Yeah, I don't have that. I used to have that. I missed that. But I don't have any space to myself anymore where... Yeah, I imagine even if Rachel moves out in May, our guest would probably take over her room for the 10 days that he comes every month like he used to do. Get the living room back, which then I get... Yeah, it's way off, though. That's like 9 months away. I can have a child by then. I don't know. I figured out. Welcome to Mr. Funky Dude Works Out His live streaming shit on air. It's the exciting, riveting content that everybody wants. Want to start taking calls from people, but I got to have more of an audience. The 2:00 shot isn't going to do it. But I've talked about this before. This is nothing new. This is nothing exciting. I know. It's okay. It's just okay. I imagine for dinner tonight, probably going to have some Chinese noodle soup. I imagine Tam will pick it up because our guest likes it too. She usually picks it up on Fridays when Tam goes to work. Hello, caller. I'm listening. Right, exactly. Got to do it in a way that I avoid the trolls. So, I tell people on Mastodon that they can DM me for the URL, and it's up on my Discord. I don't want to make it too public, the URL for it. I just kind of want to make it for people who I could track back, like no one anonymous. You know what I mean? people I can track back to their social media account or something like that I know, okay, that's who they are. So I think I know that they're on Discord. I can go, oh, okay, I can just block that person, something like that. Hello, Wichita. You're on the air. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just reliving my childhood dream of being a mobile DJ. Not a mobile DJ, being a radio DJ. I was a mobile DJ. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the wedding of Mr. and Mrs. Fuckface. I am your host, Mr. Funky Dude. And will you all stand and rise as we greet the bride and the groom? A long time ago. Seems like forever. I had a Cadillac back then. I used to haul all my equipment in. It's like a big ass boat. It was a good car though. It's a smooth ride. And I could pack everything in the back seat of the trunk. It had a lot of room, a lot of space, that car. It was like I think it was like an 87, 86 Cadillac or something like that. So, yeah, that was weird. Anyway. This sounds like a strip club announcer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Sapphire to the main stage. Yeah. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at the request of the bride, the father and daughter dance. The song that they'll be dancing to is I Got a Brand New Pair of Roller Skates. Just kidding. Yeah. Did a lot of that. That was a fun gig. That was a fun job. I didn't like hauling around the equipment, but it was a fun job. If you know what I mean, Jelly Bean. Actually, if it was back in the day when I worked at strip clubs, the song would have been I Want to Fuck You Like an Animal. That song became popular when I was a bouncer at strip clubs. And I probably heard that song twice an hour, every hour for 8 hours, Monday through Friday. Because guaranteed, every stripper at least once would dance to that song throughout their 8 hour, shift. Oh man, so many times I heard that. That was like the stripper anthem during the early 2000s or whenever it was that it came out. I don't even remember. All right, gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back, man. Okay. We are back. Sorry about that. Was it late 90s? Yeah, I can't remember when it was. It was either... Yeah, I mean, the song might not have come out. I either worked there in the late 90s or early aughts. I can't remember what year it was. It was so long ago. Fucking 20-something years ago. My memory ain't what it used to be there, son. It's not the same, you see. Not as good as it used to be. Feel a little off today, a little off my game. Got some painkillers that I'm on right now, so I'm a little loopy. And that I, smoked a little. So, yeah. And my distraction, my brain is being like distracted by everything around me. ADHD is not easy some days. What's up, Kraken Ocean? I think that's how you say it. I'm just going to call you Kraken. What's up? What's crack-a-lackin', Kraken? How you doing today? Kraken says, doing terrible but pushing through. Oh, no, Kraken, what's wrong? Let us know. Let us know what's going on. Maybe we can help you out with it. Maybe we can help make your day a little bit better. Maybe you can give you a new perspective on your day. Oh, just had a mustache hair fall into my mouth. I hate that when that happens. Let us know how we can help you. More than happy to talk to you about that. But, if not, if you don't want to, that's okay too. Sit back, relax. We're just chilling, having a pleasant conversation. What part of the world are you from? Let us know. And let us know, what are you into these days? What are you passionate about? What's something that you really like and that you're into? Kraken says he's tired of how it feels, like I'm never moving out. It's too expensive. Not making enough money. Feels like life never gets better. As much as I want to keep going, I don't see the point in life. Every day, I have to battle myself to keep living. Been verbally abused all my life. Have controlling parents. Doesn't feel like I'm living. That I'm in prison, having to live a certain way. Feel like I can never live life. Not being negative. Sorry to share. No, don't be sorry to share. You're 24. Okay, that's cool. Thank you for sharing that information with me. So. First of all, you're not alone in that feeling. In fact, I think a lot of people your age are feeling not the verbally abusive part. I mean, the part about being stuck at home, not being able to make enough to get out on your own, and what have you. You are not alone in that. And as someone who came from a verbally abusive household himself, a household where people were, mean to each other, would be talked down to each other, things like that, where we were put at competition against each other in the cruelest of ways. I get that part. Trust me, I understand that, and I empathize with that part a lot. And the thing that sucks, first of all, realize something. Because your situation is not unique, it's similar to those of your generation. There's a systemic reason for it. Has to do with our society and what have you, and how the economy is set up, and we can go into the economics of it and everything else, like that as well. But that's not really the point of what I'm getting at. The point of what I'm getting at is that you need to realize that it's not as much about you as you feel like it is. See, one of the things is that we're all kind of like, we all feel like we're the center of our own stories. You know, we're the center of our universes, so to speak, you know. And what happens is that we a lot of times we fail to understand and recognize that, I'm trying to think the best way to put this, that it's not about as much about us and our own failings as we think it is, right? That's something I learned in therapy, is that a lot of times things are working against us to such a degree, and we're trying hard to push our way forward, that we don't always see that unseen hand of society and the economy that's on us. And we take too much of the blame ourselves. So you can look at other people at your age level and you'll see, like, I'm sure you know people your own age who are living with other people, you know, like my daughter, she's going to be 25 next year. She's 24 right now. She's moving to Washington in May to be with her boyfriend. She's saving up everything, you know, that she can to move out there. She's been able to save a lot of money, but this is the first place she's ever going to live on her, you know, away from the family, from her parent, from me, basically. She's never lived on her own. Although she'll be living with like 4 other people, she'll be responsible for, you know, her own food, her own, you know, paying the bills, you know, that kind of thing. And it's frightening. And her goal is to move out there by May, right? And what she's doing now is she's not only just saving up every little dime that she can, but she's also taking steps each week to get her closer to her goal. Like, she wants to learn how to drive. She hasn't learned how to drive yet. So this week she's calling driving schools, finding the best ones, and going to start taking lessons. You know, then, you know, she's already talked to her work. She found out that her work has a place in Washington that she can transfer to. It's a little outside of, you know, it's like half hour away from her home, but at least she's got a foot in somewhere, you know, so she can make some money. So just understand, you're not alone in that feeling of wanting to be out on your own, wanting to have your own freedom, wanting to do what you want to do in life, not being around abusive family. I mean, I'm not abusive to my daughter, but I get that feeling. So just understand that, first of all, you're not alone in that. Now, does that do anything to change your circumstances? Does that make things better for you? Of course not. All I'm trying to do is get you out of your own head for a second and realize objectively that if you can look at your situation, not from your own perspective, but from a general perspective, like imagine how everybody else looks at their situations that have gone through what you're going through, right? Objectify it, compartmentalize it. You know, don't make it as much as about you, but more about tasks that need to be completed so you can move forward. You know? When a high can do things, my dad always just like talking about bills and money. Yeah, because he's concerned. Because it's not easy. You know, because he's got a lot of responsibilities to take care of, and he's got the guilt of those responsibilities on him. And, you know, I'm not, oh, sorry, it was AFK. He came by. So you didn't hear anything I said, did you? That's funny. Long story short. Yeah, that's funny. Because I'm always reminded you don't have a car there. And when I was your age, I had this and I had that. It's so annoying. Yeah, because they're out of, your dad's out of touch. Your parents are out of touch. You know? Your parents out of touch with what's going out there in the world, how much more difficult it is for your generation than it was for their generation. And you know what? Honestly, there's probably nothing you can really say or do to make them understand that, right? The only thing that you really need to do is worry about yourself and move forward. Maybe for you, that might start with therapy. You know, maybe for you, moving forward starts with therapy. The reason I say that is because I've talked to people in your situation before, and it's hard for people to move forward. It's hard to pick a path to go down when you feel so weighed down. A great way to explain this, it's hard to swim when there's an ankle around your knee or around your foot, right? That's the problem. And if you can overcome that and move forward, you'll do better. You got to let go of that anchor. Sometimes therapy is the best way to do that. Kraken says, therapy has let me down. Been to plenty of therapists, didn't help. They made me feel like I didn't matter. See, that's a red flag for me, Kraken. Let me tell you that. Okay. And I'm going to be honest with you because I'm honest with everybody. I don't kiss everybody's ass. When people say to me that they've been to plenty of therapists and none of them have helped, that's a red flag, right? I'm not saying that there aren't bad therapists out there, but if you've been to plenty of therapists and the therapists haven't helped, the problem may not be the therapist, right? And I don't know anything about you. I don't know your situation, so don't look at this as a judgment. It's really not, because I don't know you. There's no way I could judge you. All I'm doing is looking at what you're telling me, right? Been to plenty of therapists, and you said, and they made me feel like I didn't matter. That is a red flag, because I can understand where maybe you get one or two shitty therapists by accident, and they end up making you feel that way. But if you've had plenty, more than two, and they're making you feel that way, it may not be the therapist, right? Because that's not how therapy works. That's not how therapy works, right? What helps one might not help another. Okay, so here's, again, red flag. Because if you said to me, my arm is broken, and I've been to plenty of doctors and none of them want to fix my arm, I would have a hard time believing that. Right? And if you tell me that you've been plenty of therapists, but they made you feel like you didn't matter, again, I would, for the same exact reasons, exactly the same reasons, I would have a hard time accepting that. And the reason is because I understand how therapy works. Therapy doesn't work in the way that they try to make you feel like you don't matter. Right? That's not how therapy works. If that's what you're getting, look, therapy is an input-output result. Simple as that. What you put into therapy is exactly what you get out of therapy. If what you put into therapy is getting you the result of you feeling like they are making you feel like you don't matter, it's not the fault of the therapist. It's what you're putting into the therapy. Right? Are you being completely 1000% honest? Are you being completely true with yourself? All this other stuff. Hold on one second. Sorry. Fucking spam. But you get what I'm saying. It's an input-output thing. 100%, that's how therapy works. What you put into your therapy is exactly what you get out of your therapy. If you're not getting what you need out of your therapy, it's because you're not putting into it what you should. You have to dive in 1000%. You have to be completely honest with no hesitation. You have to be committed to the process. You have to do the homework that they give you. You have to learn to think about and contemplate things about yourself that you may not be willing to. It's an act of bravery, and it's a hard thing for people to do, right? But once you do those things, once you're able to give that 100%, once you're able to put yourself into that situation, therapy will give you fantastic results, right? It will give you a perception of yourself that you've never had before. But if you don't put into it all of yourself, you're not going to get good results from it. It is a one-to-one sum kind of thing that you do. I don't know how else to put it. That's what therapy is. And that might be hard for you to consider, and that you might push back against that. And I understand if you are. Again, I'm not saying this to insult you. I'm not saying this to judge you. It's not. For me, it's a matter of fact. It's a matter of this is how this works. If you don't do this way, it will not work this way. Right? It's like a professional football player who doesn't give their all at practice or in the game. They're just given, 50% effort, and then they wonder why they're dropped. And they blame it on their team or they blame it on their coach. That's what therapy is. It is a one-to-one sum. What you put in is what you get out. So maybe what you might want to do is you might want to stop and focus on your own acceptance of who you are and of what is going on in your life. Are you going to therapy because you want the therapist to give you an answer that you're looking for? Or are you going to therapy for self, for self-exploration, to understand yourself better? Are you going to therapy because you want confirmation that you're being emotionally abused? Or are you going to therapy to learn how to move forward out of that? That's why I say, when you say that, it comes up as red flags. Okay. The mental health system is corrupt. That's an easy out, and it's absolutely not true. Are there corrupt people in the mental health system? Sure, just like there are corrupt people in every system. There's corrupt people at McDonald's. I guarantee you the local McDonald's has a corrupt employee somewhere there that's probably stealing from them. Every industry has corrupt people that don't do their job right and what. But to say an entire system is corrupt, that is a demonstrably false statement. Demonstrably false. Right? So, people like it's the idea that all these people go into the system and they're all corrupt and they want to be part of the corrupt system itself. Again, it is what you put into it. And understand, I've been to therapy a lot myself. I've had plenty of therapists. I've had good therapists and I've had bad therapists throughout my life, right? I'm, 54 years old. I've had a lot of therapists throughout my time. I am completely aware of the mental health system and its problems. I'm not saying it's a perfect system by any means. But to say that the mental health system is corrupt, again, that shows a deep misunderstanding of the system itself. Again, are there corrupt people in every system? Yes. Am I saying that there are no corrupt therapists out there? Of course not. That's ridiculous. But to say that the system itself is corrupt, you would have to show egregious errors in the way they do things. In the system. That's because that's what you said, the system. That would be hard pressed to prove, right? I think and I don't know you, but from what you've told me, and I'll be honest with you, and you might dislike me for this, you might appreciate me for this one day, I don't know. But it sounds like it's not the system and it's not your therapist. It sounds like you're afraid to face yourself. And that's okay. Let me tell you that. It's okay to feel that way. 1000% okay to feel that way. I felt that way at times in my life when I was younger. I've known other people who have felt that way. Right? It is hard to look at yourself. This is why I said earlier, it's an act of bravery. It is hard to look at yourself, right? And to really be honest and look at all your faults and to look at who you've become. That's hard to do because when you're not happy with yourself, the last thing you want to do is look at who you are. If you're unhappy with your life and you're unhappy with yourself and you've got low self-esteem because your parents were cruel or something like that, then yeah, it's hard to look at who you are. And that's what I mean by it takes an act of bravery. Because I guarantee you go into therapy with full commitment. And if you have a good therapist, make sure you have a good therapist. Someone who is dedicated to their craft, you will get positive results. You will come to understand more about yourself than you ever have. You will come to understand where you came from, why you are the way you are, and what you need to do to move yourself forward. But you have to be brave. And you have to not bullshit. That's hard. That's hard for people to do. I know someone personally within the last 3 years, right before they became homeless, and everyone who was around them was saying, you got to go to therapy. You got to go to therapy. Go to therapy. And they didn't want to, but everyone around them saw what was happening to this person, the changes in this person, and how they were dealing with their problems and their self-image and their cycles of behavior. Everyone was saying to this person, from their friends to their family, please go to therapy. Please get help of some kind. And this person went because everyone was telling him to. But he wasn't going for the right reasons. He wasn't going to truly understand himself and to truly move forward. Right? And because of that, he ended up being homeless. He ended up with the same attitude that you have, that he didn't need mental health. He didn't need therapy, that therapy wasn't going to work for him, that he was beyond therapy or, what have you. All he needed was just the right attitude and get a job and everything was going to be great. 3 years ago, he's been homeless for, 2.5 years. This guy's been homeless now. Nothing's moved forward for him. Nothing's changed for him. He's had jobs and lost jobs, and they haven't fixed anything for him. It's because he's too much of a coward to look at who he is. He's too much of a coward to admit that he needs help. He's too much of a coward to be brave enough to look at himself with complete honesty and delve into those deep, hard subjects. It's not easy, but it's worth it in the end. And that's my rant. Thank you very much. I doubt you're even here anymore. Maybe I get just... That's okay. It is. It's fine. Yes, Woof, you're right. I liked your little comment there. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's always a red flag for me. When people say that things like the mental health system is corrupt or that therapy doesn't work for everybody. Like I said, when I hear that, I hear, I know I broke my arm, but, doctors are corrupt and, they're not for everybody. Okay, you keep living with that broken arm, buddy. In a sense, I went through it with you. You did, man. You did, absolutely. I saw him just a few days ago. He's clean and everything, but he's just dropped so much weight, and it's insane. I feel bad for the guy. I do. I feel very bad for him. Sure, he didn't want this, and his family doesn't want it for him. But he is trapped in his own mind. He is trapped in his own issues. He is, and he's the only one that can get himself out. And if you're not willing to do that, then this is what you end up with. Wolf says, ironically, Nebraska state motto is Nebraska. It's not for everyone. Yeah. I get it. I absolutely get it. But I hope that I think Kraken left. I'm sure he did. I probably offended him, got him upset, and he left. Where his dad came in and left. I hope nothing but the best for the person. I hope that they find their way forward. I hope that they get the help that they need. I hope nothing but the best for that person. You know me. That's how I roll. Rolling. But yes, waiting here as people come in and I slowly berate them about their mental health. Wolf says, oh, well, sometimes the truth is hard to hear. Hope it works out. Yeah, and I'll give the truth every time. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. You know me, man. I get right to the truth. I'm not going to blow smoke. I'm not like other streamers. I don't blow smoke up people's asses to make them feel better. They're going to come in here and they're going to tell me, that they're struggling. I'm going to be right up front and honest with them. I'm going to give them the 100% honest perspective. If they choose to leave because of it, that's on them. That's not on me. I didn't push them out. They ran. Like they've been running from their own problems. Oh, I know what I wanted to do this weekend. Oh, yeah. I need to move the exercise bike. Well, I don't know. It's been cooling in the morning. Maybe I can start using it in the mornings. I'm going to start trying to do that. Yeah, I don't need to move the exercise bike. Sugar-coated shit. Is that what Shooter McCavity eats for breakfast? Damn right it is. Well, it's true though, You know how I roll. I ain't got time for the bullshit. I ain't got time for the lies. I have no inclination to sugarcoat things. I will be as kind as I can when presenting information. But, white and nerdy. Timothy and white and nerdy. That's how you roll. Yep. That's how I roll on stream, in life. I try to be calm. I try to be kind when I have to give people like unfortunate news or tell them something I know they're not going to want to hear. I try to be kind, but I don't hold back. The only time I hold back is if I feel that they're not ready to listen. Like sometimes I'll say something to someone, we'll have this conversation going, and I get the sense that they're not really listening. That what they really want is just to be able to spew. They want to be able to talk. They want to be able to, just everything. They just want someone to listen. When I recognize that, I listen. And then when I recognize that they actually want feedback, I give it to them. Some people can handle that. Some people can't. I've got a friend who he can't always handle that. He'll come to me and he'll say, "Oh, this is happening, and I'm having a hard time with this." And I'll tell him straight up, "It's because you need to do this. You're not looking at this. You're not looking at that, and you need therapy." No, like I said, looking inwards is hard for some people. Really hard. It's almost impossible for some people. Which kind of like, sometimes I wonder about people. Sometimes I wonder if some people just aren't like poorly programmed NPCs because they get in this loop. Take him. He's been stuck in this loop for 5 years. All right. I guess I'm back. Still there with me, Wolf? I have a problem with the internet for a second. Yeah. Sorry about that. I had a little internet hiccup for a second. I forgot what I was talking about. I've been rambling for so long. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So did you hear about Hyde from that 70s show? Yeah, Danny Masterson, right? 30 years to life. Good. I've got no issues with that. Yeah, Hyde from that 70s show. I mean, from what I've heard, he was a horrible fucking person. You know? He deserves exactly what he's getting. Fuck him. Fuck anyone that supports him. I know he ain't going to be on the reunion. Well, yeah. Fuck him. I'm sure someone will. Oh, yeah. Well, they're trying to get a second trial going, and that was denied. And, he's got like Scientology helping him. Apparently, Scientology couldn't stop him from, being a sex offender. What's up, Boy George fan? Your hair looks daft. Are you a Boy George fan? I like Boy George. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. He was on a soundtrack in the 80s where some of his best work that he ever did was on the soundtrack. He helped put a couple of songs on a soundtrack in the 80s for a movie called Electric Dreams. And if you've never heard of it or you've never seen it, that's understandable. It's old. But he had a song on there, which is one of my favorite songs, probably one of my top 20 favorite songs, right? Which is called The Dream. And it really shows off his vocal range and the inflections that he can put in his music and his notes. It's very passionate. It's a very beautiful song, but it goes really unappreciated by people who call themselves Boy George fans. So if you're a Boy George fan, have you ever heard of that song? Are you aware of that movie? Are you aware of that soundtrack? And if not, run out there and find it. You'll love that song. But thank you for the compliment on my hair. Actually, my hair is way faded out right now because I haven't dyed it in like 2 weeks. I'm going to try to get a haircut. I haven't seen my barber in like 3 months because I had knee surgery. That's another story. But yeah, let me know if you ever heard that song before, Boy George fan. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. Gonna start working out on the exercise bike every day. Gonna try to do 20 minutes a day. Burn some calories. Get some exercise, some more movement in my life, which I desperately need. I don't like the exercise bike we have. I'm kind of like too tall for it. I can't, like if I sit on the seat, I can't stretch my legs all the way forward, like to get full extension, right? I have to bend my knee a little bit. So I have to like sit on a cushion to raise myself up like 2 inches so that I can get full extension when I'm using the exercise bike. I'm not a big fan of that. But, you work with what you got, right? Beggars can't be choosers. Someone gave it to us for free, so that's what I'm using. I does what I gotta does. That's what we all does. So yeah, I guess it was a mental health rant. I haven't had one of those for a while. Excuse me. What it is. No big deal. But I asked you early, Wolf, what you got planned for the weekend? Anything? Doing any creature feature stuff this weekend, or polishing up your mask for the haunt coming up? When does haunt season start for you? Does it start at the beginning of October, or does it start earlier or later? Like, is it only a couple of weeks before before Halloween, or is it like when spooky season hits, you guys are out there? You're going to start doing that soon, right? I think I'm all by myself right now. I gotta change this time slot, man. I gotta figure out something. Change this time slot. Oh, you did tell me. I must have missed it. I'm sorry. I told you. Missouri tomorrow morning, then haunt class at Sinister Sydney. Awesome. Season there starts October. That's awesome. I'm so excited for you, Wolf. You're going to have so much fun. Can't wait to hear all of your stories. You got to set up like a haunt cam or something like that so people can watch. You scare people. That would attract people. Yeah, why aren't you guys doing that? Why don't you guys have a live haunt cam like somewhere where you guys are where people have to go through, you could scare people and put it on one of the websites, one of the haunt websites, right? Why don't you guys do that? That would bring people in, you'd think. At least it would increase the popularity of it. Bring more people in. Nope, pay to play. What do you mean, nope, pay to play? I will possibly be at 3 haunts. That's nice. But what do you mean by pay to play? Not connecting that dot. I'm not connecting that dot, sir. I'm a yawner today, man. I can't stop yawning. Got like 7 hours sleep last night. Some reason I'm yawning. Started watching One Piece, the live series. A friend of mine downloaded it because there's no fucking way I'd watch Netflix these days or pay for Netflix. Fuck them. I have friends that download whatever I ask them to, and they put it on their Plex server for me. So, fuck Netflix. But the first episode was good. I'll probably watch the second episode tonight. I got no complaints. What up, Wolf? Hold on a second. All right, got you up there. You there, Wolf?
Yep, you hear me?
I hear you.
All right. I figure it'd be easier than just trying to keep up with what you're asking, and because I type something and you go off on another tangent, and then you're like, "Well, what are you talking about?"
All my plan, dude.
No, I got haunt class tomorrow morning,
Yeah,
and then or tomorrow afternoon, and I'm going to talk to Gravedigger, and he's the owner of our haunt.
mm-hmm.
And I've told you before, but I'll say again, just for everybody listening, that my haunt has joined 2 other haunts that are smaller haunts that we're trying to help promote each other.
Yeah,
Called the Trinity of Terror.
That's a good name.
Right. Well, not really, but if you look at the history of that name.
Oh.
Let's just say the Germans like the name.
Oh, no, then never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like, really? But we don't use anything it's just like the name, and then it's all spooky looking, the logo. But there's 2 other haunts. I've already been invited to work one on Thursdays. And then I think I'm going to go to the other one for one of their warm-up days, like when we're not open.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be working at Madness is the name of the one I'll be working at on Thursday nights.
Right.
And then I'll leave there. Friday and Saturday will be Sinister Sydney. And then if the other haunts open any other days, I might go check that one out.
It's the most scariest time of the year.
Right? Well, and then that one mask I showed you that the face rips off.
Right.
It's a great concept. I love that whole idea because, I mean, think about it. You're in a haunted house and you see this clown that's dressed up in like a robe, and then all of a sudden he just pulls his face off, and it's a skull underneath. You're like, what in the... Well, it's a great concept, but the bad thing is that the mask that sticks, because you have the clown face and then the skull. Clown face sticks to the skull, but it's like duct tape type feeling. It's like sticky.
Right.
And I put it on, and it only stays on there for about a minute, if that, and it starts falling down. So me, being the clever little guy that I am, I saw one of them because I bought it like off of a Facebook ad or something. I fully vetted it before I did it.
Right.
Made sure they weren't scammers no, actually I seen them on Facebook and I bought one from Amazon. That's what it was.
That's cool.
But the one I saw on Facebook said that it was held on by magnets.
Oh.
I'm like, I'd like to check that out. That kind of sounds
cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have magnets. So yesterday, the day before, I got this big 4x2 box or whatever for a package of 200 magnets that are no bigger than like a pinhead.
Wow.
I'm like, really, guys? You couldn't have just thrown this in an envelope? I mean, maybe not, because it was magnetized, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that would make sense.
But still, it's like, you didn't have a smaller box?
Well, did you hear about the okay. I know I don't get political, but this is a joke that I heard that I thought was really funny. Did you hear about the Republican haunted house they have in Texas? Yeah, it's filled with drag queens and librarians.
Right. I mean, most of my views would be considered conservative, but that doesn't mean that I follow those guys blindly, because the liberal side has some good ideas too, and I think that's where our country's wrong, is we just forgot how to compromise.
Yeah.
Instead, it's like, well, this guy was here, so let's knock out everything he did. So that's the first 2 years of my presidency. And then the next 2 years, I'm going to put in a bunch of stuff. And then the next guy comes in and says, well, I'm taking all that out.
Yeah.
And it's just a vicious cycle. And it gets
a little crazy.
It's divisive. I mean, it's like, what color are you, blue or red? Well, last time I looked, I was kind of a pinkish tan color, but.
Yeah.
Anyway, no politics.
So unless you're making a bad joke, then you can give all the politics you want.
I got a bad one.
What?
So this kid goes into church, and they're having a Memorial Day service, and asks the reverend, he's like, "Oh, a service? What's for Memorial Day for what?" He goes, "Well, all the people that's died in service." Kind of looks at the preacher for a minute and says, "Okay, is it the 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock service?"
That took me a second.
I was watching you, and you're like getting ready to take a drink, and then you're like, wait a minute. But
you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of back in it was the early 2000s. There was this thing where this joke was voted the most obscene joke or something like that. The dirtiest joke. It's great. It's one of my favorite jokes. It's just because of the okay. I'll try to say it without cracking up. So this little boy goes running up to this church, and he sees the priest there, and he says, Father, I need to talk to you. I need some help. And the priest goes, well, come into my office, son. I'll talk to you about it. So the priest sits the little boy down and says, what's wrong? And the little boy goes, oh, Father, everything is just so horrible. My father's going to leave my mother because he caught my mother with another man, and now my whole family's going to be torn apart, and I just don't know what to do. Things are so bad. What do I do, Father? The priest stands up, drops his pants, and says, son, this just isn't your day.
I was wondering when that would factor in. That's funny. Back to the mask thing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I ordered it off of Amazon instead of whatever fictitious company Facebook was pushing.
Yeah, right.
And the other companies was saying that it was held on magnets. So the one I got, like I said, it's just like a piece of duct tape. Like they put that same material in the back of it, but it didn't even last a minute. And even Cammy's like, well, yeah, the first time you drop that out there, it's going to be covered in crap.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I know. So what I did was I was looking at, and I might have to go a little bit bigger on my magnets. I'm going to take it to the haunt tomorrow and talk to some people about it.
Right.
Because they know more about this stuff than I do. I think I might go a little bit bigger, but basically I'm going to put magnets on the clown mask and then put them on the inside on the skull. I've already tested it. Even the little bitty ones that I have work.
Right.
It'll magnetize through the latex.
So you can take off one mask and have another mask underneath it, right?
Yeah, that's how I bought it. That's the purpose of it.
Yeah.
And so I can actually use it because, like, for now, my only thought is I can use the skull mask as just a skull. And I did buy a monk robe last weekend. Mrs. Wolf's supposed to be hemming it up for me because she's awesome like that.
Right.
But she, that's the one I'm going to be wearing at the other haunts. And then the Leatherface looking mask is the one I wear at Sinister Sydney.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That sounds kind of cool. The mask idea sounds cool if you can get it to work.
Well, and that's what I was thinking when I bought it. I'm like, this is cool. Because not only could I do a statue scare, but then I could rip my face off and maybe make somebody puke and get my last token that I need to get for haunting.
That would be cool.
Because I made people piss themselves. I made people shit themselves. I made people chicken out. I made one person pass out. The only thing is I didn't make anybody puke yet.
You know what would be really funny? You made me think about the mask thing. If you get someone to do like a Jason, Voorhees or whatever you say his name, kind of mask, the mask, right? And have him with an axe and everything. And then, do you know what a Cupid doll is?
Yep.
Have them take off the mask and they have like Cupid doll makeup on underneath, and they're all.
Or just actually a latex Cupid doll mask.
Yeah, and they're all just like posing like, something like that. And just have the person go, "What the fuck am I looking at?"
You saw that video, didn't you?
What?
Didn't I send you that video?
Which video?
Of that mask.
Of the one that you made?
Well, I know I sent you that one, but no, the one I bought.
I think so. You probably did. It's not coming to my mind right now. It sounds like something you would have done.
We'll just do it again real quick.
You know me, man. I'm a memory shot.
There you go.
Where'd you send it?
Snappy chat.
Snoop shoot. Not seeing it yet.
Oh, it's still uploading it. Probably because we're on the phone.
Things are slow.
Well, at least it's not doing the "I'm killing the internet god" sound. The old modems used to do. That's what I'm like, Jesus, that thing sounds like it's torture.
Well, I like that at least if I lose connection, it doesn't automatically disconnect me from the stream. That's cool. It gives me some time to jump back on. That's kind of neat. Okay, there it is.
You go.
I think I got it now. Yeah. Oh, damn.
Play the music too. Turn it up. It's nice.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember this one. Right. Lipstick. Yeah, I remember this now. Yeah.
That's the one I'm working on.
Right. That's cool.
You know what that's from, don't you? The song.
Yeah, it's from Silence of the Lambs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. How do you not know that song?
A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
I didn't until about 2 years ago.
Oh, you know that was from Silence of the Lambs? Or,
Yeah,
oh.
it was on TikTok. I'm like, what is that song? And I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, because Silence of the Lambs, it's a great movie, but I haven't seen it probably since the 90s.
Oh, Jesus. I probably saw it.
I mean, I used to love
I don't
it.
know, probably like 15 years ago or something.
I have not seen it this millennia. I can almost guarantee that.
I still say that to this day that I have never found another, movie. I've never found another movie that was such almost a perfect representation of the book than Silence of the Lambs. Because I had read Silence of the Lambs before the movie came out. I was a fan of the author, and I'd read his other books. And so when Silence of the Lambs came out, I was excited. I remember sitting there watching that movie for the first time, and I was quoting lines in that movie that I knew were straight from the book.
Yeah. That's the one with the, I ate his heart with a nice Chianti and some flava beans.
Yeah.
Or what was his liver? His liver, not his heart.
Yeah. They had beats that were directly from the book straight in that movie. That movie was almost like I said, it's almost the perfect representation of how to take a book and make it into a movie. It was amazing to me. I still say to this day, it's the best one I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good story too. Those books are really good. Did you know that there was a prequel to Silence of the Lambs?
Yep.
That most people don't know about.
Didn't they make the movie out of that?
Yeah, well, they made
another movie out of one of his books. I knew that.
Yeah, so they made so Silence of the Lambs, before Silence of the Lambs came out, about I don't know if it was it could be like a decade before. There was a movie called Manhunter.
Yeah.
Right. And
I remember that one.
That was based on the book The Red Dragon, which came before Silence of the Lambs.
Right.
Right. And eventually they remade that movie. I think they ended up calling it The Red Dragon.
Red Dragon, yeah. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, and it starred what's his name? The guy that was in
Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins.
Well, yeah, but it had Edward Norton, I believe, in it, playing the lead detective.
Yeah. The only movie I think I really like him in is Fight Club.
Fight Club? I don't know. American History X. That was
okay.
A really good movie, man.
He really
shined in that movie.
Yeah, I forgot about that, but okay. Amended those two.
And come on, the Incredible Hulk.
No, not really. I wasn't a fan of how they're depicting him in Marvel now.
Oh, Edward Norton or the Hulk?
The Hulk.
Oh no, they totally nerfed the Hulk.
I mean, because that was Marvel. I grew up a poor kid, so I couldn't afford candy and comic books and stuff like that all the time.
Yeah.
So my grandma, every year she would get me a subscription to 2 comic books for Christmas, and it was always The Amazing Spider-Man and The Incredible Hulk.
There you go. 2 classics.
Right. And those were the 2 that I'm most fond. I mean, Spider-Man, he's been overdone.
Yeah.
Just like I had a collection of short stories of Batman.
Yeah.
Batman's always been my favorite DC guy.
Yeah.
But just like Spider-Man, how many times do we have to know that Thomas and Martha Wayne got shot? We know.
Yeah, with Batman, right.
I mean, every franchise, they've done it. They even did it in...
someone's dad's got to die.
In the Harley Quinn cartoon, if you've watched that.
Yeah. I do.
And it's like, okay, we get it, that's his origin, but we already know how he was created.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a Batman movie where no, he's already here.
Yeah.
Like a new franchise. Yes, we know. Maybe a flashback scene or something.
Right.
But otherwise, no, we're moving forward. Let's
well,
see.
they stopped that with the Tom Holland Spider-Mans. You notice they didn't have a
Yeah, he got bit.
Uncle Ben origin story, you know,
Right.
or him getting bit or anything like that.
Wrestling the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, I think that was smart of them. That was really smart of them, just because everybody knows that
squish
story.
You like a bug.
Gonna squish you like a bug, man. I'm gonna hold you down and kill you.
But well, the thing about a good Randy Savage voice, you got to get the gravel, but then you got to pick up the keys.
You gotta cool this man
down a little bit, like you got to take a massive shit. And then he says, talking quiet, because you're just up here in the WWF getting a cup of coffee.
Getting a cup of coffee.
And you always got to cut off words.
Oh, yeah.
Like, make them a little shorter or longer. Because he really, his speech pattern was just all over the place.
Yeah.
Well,
voices, it was fun to listen to. He captivated an audience with that voice.
Well, and, you know, doing voices has always been my thing. You know that.
Yeah, yeah. I hear you, buddy.
I'll tell you what.
You're going to have more fun than I am this weekend. I'm jealous, man.
Well, and I forgot the most important part.
Most important. There's more. Great. What is it?
Yes. And on Sunday, we watch football as the gods intended.
I know Tam finally started her pool at work. So she's been playing close attention. I guess last night's game was pretty close.
It was great.
21-20 or something like that.
Yep. Detroit beat the defending Super Bowl champions in their own stadium. Oh,
yeah, that's a close fucking game. We didn't watch it, but when we heard the score, we went, "Oh, damn!"
Well, Kansas City is only like 2.5, 3 hours from where we live, and Tammy, she, you know, puts up with me rooting for the Colts, and she's like, "Well, I'm going to pick this team." I'm like, "Okay." She really likes Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, she goes, "Well, yeah, he's kind of cute." She goes, "But she'll like get into it." She's like, "He's a great player." She goes, "His mechanics." She goes, "They try to sack him and they never catch him because he'll just run all over the place and he throws the ball at all these weird angles." She goes, "He seems like he's a good person. He just needs to get a new wife and brother." But, and I was like, "Yeah, okay." And so normally I would root on the Chiefs. She's like, "So you think we're going to win tonight?" I was like, "I hope so, because it'll be the greatest thing that ever happened." And she looked at me. She goes, "You're not rooting for the Chiefs tonight, are you?" I was like, "No, honey." I was like, "You know, my NFC team has always been the Lions." So, and the Lions have been so horrible my entire life.
You got to stay true to your home team.
Well, Detroit is not really technically my home team. But my stepfather is from Michigan,
right?
And we would go up to Michigan for like Thanksgiving. And of course, Detroit's always playing on Thanksgiving. And my grandfather, Rip, who never, ever watched football, had the game on when we were up there. And I'm like, "You don't watch football, Grandpa. Let's watch cartoons. You don't watch football." Or I wanted to watch the parade or something. He's like, "Nope, it's Thanksgiving, boys. Shut up. The Lions are on." Okay.
Okay, then. We'll do that.
One playoff victory since they started the NFL merger, I think.
Really?
Or 2 playoff victories. They only had one really good year. They went all the way to the NFC game and lost. And their quarterback just happened to have my IRL name. So I was a fan from, you know, a long time ago. I've actually got an old Herman Moore jersey from those days. But, yeah, I thought it was great. She's like, "Well, it was a good game, but I'm happy that Detroit won, but I kind of got snowed because of my fantasy football team."
Right.
Because I picked up one of the better players in the league, Travis Kelce, as my number 1 pick, and he didn't play last night. And I didn't realize he wasn't going to play, and I couldn't change it. And even then, the guy I had as a backup was like questionable as well. I'm like, damn it.
Damn it.
Had I known, I would have just picked up the Colts tight end and rode with it.
Right. Well, you know, Can't
I
know
know
everything.
you don't pay as much of attention to it as me and Tam do.
No. Well, she does because she wants to know if she's won.
Right?
Yeah. Last year she did really good. I think she came in like either first or second in the pool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she did really good. Well, she had her brother helping her make picks. Her other brother.
Okay.
Yeah, not that brother, the other brother.
Okay.
Yeah. So that worked out pretty well. So we'll see how she does, or they do this year, I should say.
Yeah, I've actually got 2 fantasy teams, and it was the same thing. My dad asked me if I wanted to play in the league again this year with him and my brother. I'm like, all right.
All right.
But I know my dad's cheating though, because I think he's trading players between the 2 teams that he has, and he's the commissioner. I'm like, But as it was, I still almost won the title from him last year because of that unfortunate incident that happened with that young player.
What was that?
Where he died on the field.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Cammy, I told Cammy, I was like, well, my guy on this game would have to score a bunch of points, and they would have to score none. Or no, I was like, they would have to like basically not play this game, and then I would have to score points on the Sunday game or the later game.
Right.
And sure enough, they didn't play the game, and I actually felt bad about it, like, oh, damn.
Right.
But a dude at work, he's like, hey, we need one more guy. Do you want to play? I'm like, man, okay. It's like, I'm not going to pay it too much attention, but yeah. To me, it takes from the game. It's because I don't want to root for somebody who's playing against one of my 2 teams.
Sure, of course. That just seems wrong.
Right. And for me, like for the longest time, ever since fantasy football started, my dad's like, oh, yeah, join my league. He finally got me after like 20 years or however long it's been. But I used to tell him, no, I play Madden. That's my fantasy football.
There you go.
And he laughs. I mean, he's doing, he's kind of sporty anyway. He's doing umpiring for JV football last night.
That's nice.
So he's probably doing varsity tonight. And he also umpires high school baseball and softball.
That's cool. Sounds like a lot of fun for him.
Yeah.
He's enjoying himself. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, and that's what I was telling you. He's had both knees replaced and at the same time.
I don't know how he did it. It's amazing to me. That's amazing.
The funny thing, this next one probably won't be as bad for you.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
Well, because I know when I had to have a lot of dental work done. I had all my top teeth pulled. Yeah. And it was just horrible. I mean, I know it's a different part of the body, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But then I had all my bottoms pulled like a year or 2 later. Mm-hmm. It wasn't half as bad.
Yeah.
Because I think your body's like, okay, this is what's going to happen. We're going to dull it a little bit. We're used to this. And then we'll get better. I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to be pain-free, but I don't think it'll be as bad.
Yeah. Well, for me, surprisingly, the worst part of it was the depression.
Yeah.
That came with. That was the worst part for me. I mean, the pain was horrible. I hated the pain, but if I just had to deal with the pain and not the depression, that'd be great. But if I get, my fear is I'll get the pain and the depression, and that was hell, man.
I get it.
That was like sheer hell.
Able to do what you want when you want. So
yeah. Well, also it's just like, it's not just being able to do what you want when you want. It triggered some kind of trauma response in me because when I came out of that surgery, like coming to consciousness, I don't know if you've ever been and had a surgery where they've knocked. Okay.
I've got a metal rod in my back.
Yeah. Okay. That's right. I totally forgot. Coming to consciousness. The first thing I heard was myself crying out in pain. Right? Like I was like, what is that sound? Oh, that's me. And I was just like, oh, like that. Just like, because it fucking hurt. I came out of that in pain. And I don't know if it's just like a response that my body had to the surgery and that was manifesting itself through depression or, what have you. But I mean, it wasn't just not being able to do what I want to do and leave the room or whatever, but it was just this overwhelming feeling of trauma. Like that I had gone through something but had no memory of it. But the only thing that was left behind was the feeling of trauma. That was it. That was
what
fucking
happened?
Tough. What?
Aliens.
And
now you got a picture of that guy from the History Channel with the fro. No, in all honesty, I get that because it was the same for me. And I had some issues when I first had my back surgery. I mean,
yeah,
never knowing if I would. I mean, I was walking, but it's like, how long is this going to last?
Oh, yeah.
So far, it's been years and decades.
Yeah.
So he did a good job, but it's like, okay, what are my limitations going to be? Because at 21 years old, I was taking professional wrestling classes.
Oh, you can't do that no more. Yeah.
I wanted to be a professional wrestler, and everybody always said I was too small. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not. And then Rey Mysterio came out, and guess what? Rey Mysterio is my size.
Yeah.
Booyaka, booyaka, as his theme song says. He's like 5'7", 5'8", 100.
Yeah.
Well, he's like 175 pounds. I was 125. But if I would have just lifted, just lifted and bulked up, I would have been able to.
Sure.
But I had already paid the money, and I was supposed to start the next week when my accident happened. And a rare thing happened in the world of professional wrestling.
What?
The trainer liked me and saw that I was actually serious when they tried me out, that he actually refunded my money.
Oh, that's nice.
That never happens.
Sure. That's nice. That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Unfortunately, his school is closed because I would be always, hey, anybody that wants to be a wrestler, go here.
Sure.
But he's like, he goes, in all honesty, he goes, I couldn't take your money. You didn't take one class. He goes, and he even told me, he goes, that's not how it is all the time. So,
yeah.
And he told me that I probably would never wrestle. That was one of the hardest things because, that was my life when I was a kid.
Right.
And it's probably for the best because I'd be all like hip replaced and new knees and God knows what else because I would have to be like a Rey Mysterio because of my height.
Right. You would have been a great wrestler, Wolf, I'm sure of it.
Oh, I would have. I'm creative.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Leanne. Leanne there in the chat says, yay, I caught you. Leanne, you're catching me going out the door. You got here too late.
Yeah, it is about that time, isn't it?
Yeah, don't worry, Leanne. I'm going to hopefully soon start streaming at later times. So,
but then you can say, but I'll be back when the day is due.
Back. But no, actually, I do have to take off, Wolf. It's been great talking to you.
You too, brother. I'm going to hop off here then, but
yeah,
have a great weekend, my man.
You too, buddy. I'll chat with you later on in the week. Leanne, absolutely. I'm sorry that you got here, but I am taking off. So catch me. Hopefully, when I start doing the later times, you'll be able to join or what have you. But thanks anyway, Leanne. I really appreciate your time showing up anyway. Anyway, guys, I'm taking off. Thank you for everybody watching. Thank you for everybody on PeerTube that's watching, YouTube that's watching, Twitch that's watching. You guys are great. Fantastic. Thanks to Wolfman for contributing to the stream, coming in, talking to me. It's been great always talking to him. Anyway, everybody, take care. Have a great day, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye.